Hello everyone, welcome to the Haunted House. My name is Ghost, and welcome back to another episode of History with a Ghost. The next couple episodes of History with a Ghost are going to be very close to me, especially this first one. We are going to go through the two stories that got me into military history. Starting off today with the Red Baron, or Manfred von Richthofen, the top ace of World War One. Manfred was born on the 2nd of May 1892 in what is now Warsaw, Poland. Back then it was Kleinberg, Prussia. He was born to a big aristocrat noble family. His mum and dad were both barons, and his dad was also a major in the Prussian cavalry. Prussian names are so hard to pronounce, I'm not going to bother to say his mum and dad's names. While growing up, Manfred was a big fan of horses and firearms. He loved to hunt. He was also very athletic. He won multiple awards at school. Around the age of 11, he would join the Prussian Cadet Institute. He wasn't the best in the school. His academic performance was pretty bad. He barely got by. He also didn't do well with fellow classmates and command. But besides these faults, as you could probably tell from what I just said before, he did do well with the athletic and competitive side of things at the school. After finishing cadet school in 1909, he would join the Ulhan Cavalry Unit 2 years later in 1911. The specific unit he was in, I can't say the name of as well, so I'm going to put it up on the screen. He was quickly promoted to lieutenant a year later. Ulhan cavalry were a type of cavalry armed with lances, primarily at the time. They were pretty outdated by this time. Before World War One, while in the cavalry, Manfred would do patrols around the Prussian border and Polish border. As I said earlier, he was a big fan of horses. When he wasn't on duty, he would participate in horse races and jumping competitions with his personal horses. He would continue to do these races and patrol duties until 1914 when World War One started. A month after the war started, Manfred and his unit was shipped to the Eastern Front, and a year after that was sent to the Western Front. He fought in the German invasion of Belgium, the Battle of Verdun, the invasion of France, and many other battles. But as I said earlier, cavalry was kind of outdated around this time. Not entirely, but you could see the cracks. Command couldn't see the cracks. They held on to cavalry for another 20 years. Trench warfare and machine guns like the MG08 and Vickers would prove a challenge for cavalry. These weapons would obliterate traditional cavalry charges, so because Command didn't want to give up cavalry, they would experiment with cavalry and not just come to senses and realize it was outdated and scrap it. They would turn cavalry into mounted infantry. Soldiers would ride up, dismount, and fight like regular infantry. It wasn't even cavalry by that point. They would also try things like having cavalry provide reconnaissance, act as messengers, escort prisoners, or when really desperate, have perform traditional charges but from behind so they wouldn't be obliterated. Going back to Manfred, he got the bad end of the stick. Him and his unit were given the role of conducting reconnaissance and as runners and field telephone operators. Manfred did not like this. He wanted to be in the action. He was bored. Sometime in May of 1915, Manfred would meet German ace Oswald Bolich. They would become friends. Not long after, Manfred would join the German Air Force, stating in his transfer letter, quote, "I have not gone to war in order to collect cheese and eggs," end quote. I have heard so many great quotes from famous soldiers, airmen, and seamen in the military, but that is by far the best quote I've heard. That is hilarious. Um, he was quickly accepted into the Air Force. He was trained by George Zuma, a German fighter pilot who was a part of the squadron Manfred would join at some point. He passed training and became a observer with the 69th Flying Squadron. Nice. He stayed with the squadron for a while before joining the Carrier Pigeon Detachment in Ostend, Belgium. While in this unit, he would score his first kill. He would shoot down a French Farman aircraft, though it is not his first kill as a pilot. He was a gunner at the time. The kill was also never officially credited, as the battle happened beyond friendly lines, so no one saw it, which I find kind of dumb. His pilot saw it, but whatever. Um, from October of 1915 to February of 1916, he was trained to become an actual pilot. He wasn't the best straight away. He crashed his plane the first time he took control, but he quickly improved after he passed training. He would join the number 2 fighter squadron. While in this squadron, he would technically get his first kill as a pilot, but once again, no one was around to witness it, so it wasn't counted. Not long after, Oswald Bolich asked Manfred if he wanted to join his newly formed squadron called Jasta 2. Manfred would accept. And this is where Manfred's career would take off. No pun intended. Not long after joining Jasta 2 on the 28th of October 1916, Oswald Bolich would die after a mid-air collision with a friendly aircraft. Oswald Bolich was a key figure in aviation. He would become known as the father of aviation. He created what is known as the Dicta Bolich, a manual of aerial maneuvers for aerial combat. This inspired other manuals and has been a main focus for militaries around the world. Manfred witnessed the crash. A month before the crash, Manfred scored his first credited kill over Cambrai, France, on the 17th of September when he shot down pilot Second Lieutenant Lionel Morris and his observer Tom Rees. 2 months after, on the 23rd of November, he would shoot down British ace Major Lenoir Hawker. From my research, this is apparently Manfred's most famous kill. After a pretty long dogfight, Hawker decided to run away from Manfred. Little did he know that this was a bad choice. While he tried to escape back to friendly lines, he was shot in the back of the head. Manfred would win many more victories, so many I couldn't go through them all in this video. Sometime after these events, in 1917, he consumed command of Jasta 11, which was one of the best squadrons at the time. It's also around this time he would paint his plane in the iconic red, earning him the nickname of the Red Baron. The reason why he painted his plane red is so his fellow pilots could see him and his opponents. On the 4th of February, he would visit his mother's home. While there, she asked him why he risks his life every day doing this job, being a fighter pilot, and he said, quote, "For the men in the trenches, I want to ease their hard lot in life by keeping the enemy flyers away from them." End quote. He had a big heart. In the month of June, his success and the success of his unit peaked. He shot down 22 British fighters in this month, shooting down 4 in one day. Later on in the month, he would consume command of a new unit named JG-1, which would catch the nickname of the Flying Circus. This unit was extremely large. It consisted of just the 4, 6, 10, and his former unit, just 11. He would continue to kick ass with this new unit until the 6th of July, when, while conducting air operations over Wervik, Belgium, he was shot in the side of the head, causing a skull fracture. And for him to be disoriented and paralyzed and partially blind for a while for obvious reasons. He not long after gained back control of the aircraft and landed in a friendly field. He was sent to a hospital where he had to have surgery. 20 days later, this Chad was back in the air kicking butt again against doctor's orders, but was forced a couple months later to take a break from the 5th of September to the 23rd of October. His wound possibly had lasting damage, as he would constantly get nausea, and his temperament changed. He would continue flying after his break for a while, with his final 2 kills being on the 20th of April 1918. One day later, Manfred von Richthofen was shot down and killed at the Battle of the Somme. How Manfred was shot down is disputed, but the official story is at 11 a.m. Manfred was chasing a Canadian aircraft piloted by Wilfred May. Wilfred had apparently fired upon Manfred's cousin, Wolfram Richthofen, so Manfred chased him. He chased Wilfred all over the Somme. Eventually, Canadian Captain Roy Brown spotted Manfred chasing Wilfred, which Wilfred was Roy's friend. Roy chased after Manfred and shot at him. Manfred dodged this attack and continued going after Wilfred. It was at this time that Manfred's plane suddenly nosedived into the ground and crashed. Manfred had been shot in the chest, killing him within a minute. Roy Brown, the man that attacked Manfred right before this, was credited with killing Manfred, but basically everyone, including historians, brain fart there, agree that it wasn't him, and that the shot that killed Manfred came from the ground, most likely from an AA gun, because the trajectory of the bullet had came from below on the right side when Roy had attacked from above on the left. An Australian battalion was on the ground at the time, and it is most commonly agreed upon that it was one of those soldiers from that battalion, though which one is still a debate. Manfred is buried in the South Cemetery in Wiesbaden, Germany. And that's about everything about the Red Baron. I'm so glad I got around to making this video. Um, this one means a lot to me. As I said earlier, he was the first military story I heard that got me into the whole thing. So, yeah. This is probably a long one, but oh well. But, yeah. If you like this video, please give it a like and a follow. And, yeah, I'll see you next time. Bye.